Hey everybody, I want to do a test. I'm trying to set up MIDI between my Octatrack and my virus. In my Octatrack, I have my MIDI settings. So if I go to project and I look at my MIDI settings, the challenge is I did configure the MIDI. So here under the Octatrack, you have the settings, MIDI sequencer. So if I go here, I go yes, that's MIDI connect. I go no, get out of that. I go to my MIDI channel, go to control. So this is the settings on my Octatrack. Get out of this. I go to sync. I have it send receive clock. Get out of that. Go to my MIDI channels. So I have the auto channel off, but maybe, I think this is for the, so maybe if I set this to, so trig channels, this is for the Octatrack. So this is where I get confused because I don't use the Octatrack a lot. So if I set this to 1 and I set that to 2 and 3, I just want to see if I can get MIDI to sequence off my Octatrack. And then I go to here. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that has this problem. So if you're new or haven't used the Octatrack in a while, I'm rusty on it, I haven't used it very often. Innate. So and I have all the channels set to off. I go yes, I get out of this. So I know it's syncing up. So I get to send and receive. And so if I go to my controls here. So like now, the other thing too is you got to see what type of machine you're going to use. So if you go function, you go here, is it set? So it's not working correctly. So there's something else going on in my setting. So I'm going to just get out of this. I think there's also a setting. There's my cables. I have the main output cables going to my monitors. I have a MIDI cable in and out going to over here to my MIDI on the virus. Right, so I have these MIDI cables here, so let me see if you can see them better. But maybe I should just use if I disconnect this cable and I just want to send MIDI clock signal to the virus. I don't want to receive anything. So I just want the virus to get the MIDI from the Octatrack. So if I go MIDI in, let's see, I can do a better job here. MIDI in on the virus. All right, MIDI in on the virus. To go to my Octatrack, MIDI out. So there's MIDI out here. Sorry, so I'm doing this at one time without having. All right, so now if I go to, let's see if I got my keyboard, and type it, turn my virus up a bit. Yeah, so it's not getting any MIDI signal, whatever. So then if I go back to my virus, and the virus is kind of strange. So then I'm getting this problem. And see that happens? I'm going to take it out on multi-mode, single mode. Yeah, I'm having some weird stuff going on. Yeah, so if I take it out of, maybe if I do put it back to sleep, and reboot it, and let's come back on. Because there's MIDI settings in the virus that you need to set right, or it'll cause issues. So here it's back on. I'm going to get out of this. So I go back here. Turn that down. All right, so that's working. So here you got two modes. You can be single mode, multi-mode, right? But it puts you back in a patch, which is interesting. So, okay, but first let's check the settings. If I go to my config button here on the virus, and I've only had this virus for a few days, I'm still learning it. So, let me get the screen. It's kind of hard. The screen is really hard to get clear on a camera, unfortunately. It says iPad camera is not the best. So I have MIDI dump. So here, if I go back here, multi-program change enable. So let's see if I can get this here. trying to get the angle here on my camera is really challenging with the virus. The screen is not, it does not like to be captured. So maybe because it's the virus. So let's see if I can get this here a little better. Just bear with me here for a second. There we go. Ah, what a pain that is compared to most of my sense. So I don't want to, because the way the light works on it. So let me go back here. So multi-program change disabled. So maybe this might be the problem. If I do an edit, I go over here to my edit button and smooth mode off. I'm going to turn this, I don't know if I should have this smooth off. Okay. I go next. That might be the problem. Unison. Yeah, there's a lot to this. Like, you could do it on the computer screen for some stuff, but I'm just trying to get this going here. Let me find the menu, MIDI menu. There's so many menus here. All right, so multi-program change disabled. I don't know if this is something I need to have set for MIDI, if I want to do 8 channels of MIDI from the Octatrack. So if I go here, all right, single, this is another thing I'm not sure about, right? So type single bank. So I'll probably have to open another ticket of Access support or somebody knowledgeable. So MIDI control, page controller data, right? So this is another thing. I don't know what to set this for. You know, there's all this kind of stuff you can do, which is pretty amazing. Poly pressure, whatever, sysx. All right, so if I go next, I don't want that. Okay, local on or off. Okay, so this is something I'm not sure about what to set. Multi-mode channels, all right? Keyboard, all right? So we go config, audio clock, soft knob. So this config button and edit's how you get to this menu. Those of you who don't use the virus or are new to it. Knob behavior, global tuning, system. So this is where I think the virus has some MIDI stuff. I do like using it on a synth because I don't always want to log into a computer. This I heard soft through to turn off from another video on the device. The thing is a global channel. I'm not sure what to set that to. I have another sequencer coming, so I kind of want to figure this out with my Octatrack and my BeatStep Pro before I get my really nice sequencer. So sync to external, that looks correct. Program change enabled, multi-program change disabled. So do I have to set this? I'm going to put enable, and I'm just going to do exit. All right, so now if I go back to config, all right, come on, please cooperate. All right, so that looks all right, because this is the menu tree. Let's see, you got here. All right. All right, so what I want to do is see if I can get my Octatrack to work. So if I go to, I'm going to mute these other channels. I don't have any confusion here. I'm going to unmute first MIDI channel. So I don't know, it's not sending. Yeah, so see that? It's not working. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's not sending MIDI. Maybe I have to change channel settings. I don't know. Maybe. Anyways, you let me know because I really appreciate everyone's help. Cheers.